Hi, my name is Vishal. I hope you guys are doing good. Today's video is related to the UI and UX. This work is already been published on my Behance profile, but due to some error I decided to make a republishing of the same work. So here is the one. So as you visit on my Behance, here is the same website available. Previously it was available because once this video will be published parallelly, I will change the whole presentation on the Behance portfolio. So here is website. This doesn't give you so much of information, and it has some errors such as this area, the icons part, and no one who and anyone who is who don't know the situation where I have built this website with in such what scene or scenario, then he won't be able to judge the whole website. So that's why I decided to make another presentation for the same. So this website is designed in the XD. So here I have this website. Let's start with the presentation. So as you go into the presentation mode, you will get this first screen. This is the home screen of the website UI, and the same with the website also. This is navbar which showing that you are on the home screen, and whenever you hover on the particularly on any object or on an image, you get this hover effect on the image. Now the image is in the grayscale. Once you move a cursor on the same image, you will get the image in color, and this is a hover effect. Now here we on a second div. What is the div? Technically it's in a coding term. A div, it's just a place, for instance, where you place the objects or an image. For instance, this is a div with one h tag, with one h2 tag, and one with five divs, with one image tag and one p tag. P tag is for the lines or small words such as this. This is h1 tag, heading tag 1, heading tag 2. This is the image tag. So now again with the same effects, like whenever you move a cursor on a particular image, the image turns into a color image from the grayscale. Here is the process section, and here is a Y chooser section. The thing I like to show you here is that this particular icons or this section of icons I have a design for this particular website. Means when it comes to the development of a website, um, after getting all the necessary information available, this one of the part or one of the feature, I would say, you must consider in account, because when it comes to the development of any presentation part, everything should be in a symmetry or in some aesthetics. It should be managed from top to bottom, means from selection of a font, selection of icons, a selection of negative space, selection of any object or a prompt you gonna use for particular presentation, that you must consider into account. That is why I have designed this icons. Again with the brand section, I just wanted this website should be minimal and clean in presentation. And this is the testimonial section, whereas you see on the presentation here, this is a bit different because here is a no testimonial section. Here's a testimonial section but with some errors, and the icons that time designed not designed particularly, because I have a tight deadlines and no support from the team, and this was my one of the last project before leaving that organization. So I just simply get done with it. So here this section of the testimonial, and again this quote section, these icons were designed, that's why I have liberty to change the color. and the footer section. Here I am showing that this website is designed and developed by me. Technically it is designed by me, developed by some of the developers with the help of mine, and I also worked some of the part or some of the sections in the development, such as the incorporation of the CSS and how the animation could feel when this website will get deployed. Now again on the button hover effect, and if you go the home screen navbar, this is prototyped, means this website is completely prototyped. This again the section is why design your home section, interior design section. Again the website following the same thing overall, the whole presentation, such as whenever you hover on the object, you have the object highlighted, and as well as whenever you select a bohemian in the selection button, this will be highlighted. Again the same with the art deck also. Here is a know your construction part. Again it's a bit a long section, but one of the thing I like to share here is that this toggle switch, um, I have a particularly designed for this. This is possible in the XD, that's why I designed. Some of things are not possible, such as the drag system, means whenever you click here it's not getting dragged. This possible in some other UI application. In package section, again button with the hover, just depicting the packages, nothing else. Then our services, here there are two things happen when it comes to the when I about to finish the UI part of the whole website. Once I am done with the presentation, or once I am done with the UI part of the website, they have added two services in the one services section, such as interior and exterior, means our services includes interior services as well as excluded exterior services, but that part we manage by the coding. Then about us, what is the company, the nature and timeline of the particular construction, why choose us, or maybe what is this build any homes way of working. They are showing some information, the process section and their team, means how much interior designer, architecture, labor and rest of the members are available on the same team. And the gallery section, minimalistic, nice, clean and simple. So now the whole presentation of the website is done, but some of the points are very important which I like to highlight on this presentation. Now when it comes to the development of a particular website, you must see, or you must have some points consider in your accounts while your development. The first point is your client base, means for instance you are designing some dynamic or very good website for a wider screen, but most of the consumers are mobile phone users. So your website is mostly very dynamic and it is very presentable on the wider screen, but your most of the clients are user of these small devices such as a mobile phone, so they won't get that dynamic presentation on their small devices. Because when you develop a website, or when developer develops some website, he cannot match the same dynamic effort on the multiple devices, because previously we have mostly website presented on the wider screen, on the monitors, but nowadays the same website is presented or applicable or usable, accessible on multiple devices, such as big wide devices, such as a monitor of a 32 inches, a monitor of 18 inches, and a mid devices such as a tablets and an iPad, and a small devices such as a mobile phone, and with the different screen sizes. So that is why your website is, if your website is mostly dynamically presented on the wider screen, then definitely that website will not be get dynamically presented on the smaller devices. Now the second thing you must consider into account, the objective of the development of the website. Let me show you here again. Let's move on to my Behance profile. So here on my Behance, I have designed the UI for the government website. This is a government scholarship website. So in the government websites, or in the websites where the security is primary goal, not your presentation, not the UI or the UX, especially UI. UI is not considered important when it comes to the development of a security or from the user experience perspective. For instance, this is a government website. Here are two of the presentation for the home screen I have built for the same. This is a navbar. On the navbar, easy sign in button, as well as the font increase and decrease button, as well as the theme of the website could be changed from the black to white and from white to black, from dark to light and light to dark, and as well as the language bar. This security, this development, or this whole presentation or this whole UI should be built on the basis of the user experience, because a website, governmental website, is mostly used by different range of the different ages of the people. So the person who have a low eyesight vision, for him a font of 12 maybe not visible, so he needs some big font. That's why the font button is there. The dark theme and light theme button based on the color contraction of a particular eyesight person, as well as the language bar. Because if someone who is from the Kerala, whose native language is Telugu or Tamil, he is using your website on a Maharashtrian website, and then if the website is built in a Marathi, then it is very difficult for such a person to understand the or get the information from that language. So that is why you have to build a website which is compatible or mostly in sync with the multiple language. Despite of that, in the government website, they always wanted to highlight the brands such as Rashri, Rashri, Rajashri Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj here, and as well as the symbol of or the logo of their organization. These are very important points when it comes to the development of a website. Imagine if you are developing a website which is an e-cart website, so there is a database security of a particular information, and object upload and a deployment of a particular information, that is more important rather than the dynamic presentation. The third point is here is that the technology, the website could be built in any technology. Any technology means, here as you see on my screen, this is a GSAP. The website could be built in any technology means it could be built in a React, it could be built in Angular, it could be built in a basic WordPress, it could be also built in a HTML, CSS, JavaScript, bootstrap, or it could be used in a 3JS or a GSAP or a Angular or any other technology. Now as you see on my screen, this is a GSAP. JavaScript library helps you to build a website. Now this website is very dynamic. As you see, the icons, the fonts are changing, the icons are moving, and by the time you scroll you get this dynamic presentation. And they also illustrated here some of the dynamic presentation, that if you use this technology, this type of dynamic website UI you will get. But again the point is same. If your UI is dynamic on the wider screen, this cannot be get dynamic on the smaller screen. So developing such a website UI will not help you the same dynamic effects on the mobile screen. For that particular region you have to uh, build a UI or some thematic presentation which is mostly visually available on the smaller screen. Similar goes with the 3JS. Here, this website you see, 3JS is built. It helps you to build website in a 3D version or a 3D presentation. So here it is loading. So yeah, here, so in a 3JS, if your website is in 3JS, you get the luxury of this dynamic presentation. This you see on your screen, this is core coding. This is no image, no JPG, no PNG, no video, no SVG, nothing. This is just core coding. That's why you see this dynamic animation even from this moment of the waves, these balloons, and as well as this wireframe mesh of this particular boy. This is completely a core coding. This type of animation you possibly attain or achieve by using this technology. But again, the point you must consider that you want this dynamic animation because it required so much of development effort from the developer as well as from the UI part, and that must be sync in account to get that outcome. And the point also you must have consider this: if you are building some insurance website, this website is built in the theme of a neomorphism, as well as they use some of the nice vector object which matching the presentation of the website. So this website you see here, this is a monster website. This is a very gigantic website. You go to the bike insurance panel and you see here detail of information. It's too much of information. Developing of such a website is definitely a task for a developer as well as for a UI designer. So when it comes to the development of such a huge project, you must have considered so many things in account. The point of icons, the point of a presentation, the point of a requirement, the point of a development of a data and the information for the future modification, as well as some of the points you must consider into account when it comes to the development of a website, that the font of the website as well as the icons, the client base, and the outcome you want to development of the website. One of the points I like to share you here is that in this government section or this website panel, when I have developed one of the application related to the same website. When a student come with the application form and that form collected by some officers, and in the back end process, in the back end of that file processing from that officer to the government officials, that for that particular process we have developed some application, and that application backend architecturing that is also done by me. So that part is not presentable here due to the government security officials. But yes, that point you must consider into account, that when it comes to the development of a website or some application, that backend architectural work is also needed. It should be well prototyped and well presented to a or well handed over to a developer. One of the points I like to highlight here is that whenever you have a website which is built like this, I have built this particular icons for this particular presentation. So here I received the luxury of modeling or manipulating the information. For instance, this icon here, I have a luxury to change its color by any which is going with the flow. So here this icon become a much more dynamic in a presentation part. So that is why if you have ample of time uh, and the budget is also very high to development of such a website, then definitely you must try to incorporate in making it more look alive. Similarly, here I like to emphasize here that this in between, when I was searching for some of the inspiration, I found this work. This work is too dynamic and too nicely presentable, nicely presented here. You see, this is just an icon design, but very nice icon design. It is in a grayish mode and some shading effect with some lighting texture on it. So when it comes to the development of any of such a website or some thematic presentation, there this objective or this type of presentation could be encashed. So I feel I possibly covered all the possible topics. Some of the information is left, so that I'll mention in the comment section or in the description section. But that is the this is the agenda of making this whole video. That when it comes to the UI, you should not be only a designer. You must have some knowledge of coding, so that you can land up the type of animation and you can help a developer to land the output we needed or the team needed. So on that note, thank you so much for watching this quick video. I hope I'll see you soon.